Fourth Initiation, Mystic Travels, Encounters with the Masters. In 1865, Madame Blavatsky traveled extensively through the Balkans, Greece, Egypt, Syria, Italy, and many other places. In 1867, she joined the forces of the Garibaldi, fighting for Italy's nationhood against the French and Papal forces. She claimed to have received a strange wound near her heart in the Battle of Mentana in Central Asia. From time to time, the wound would open, leaving her close to death, yet she was able to continue her mission. Doctors were baffled by the strange wound that seemed to open and close without explanation. Some believed that her body was actually killed during this battle, but that it was resurrected to become a focal point for the power of her masters and hierarchy. In 1868, she traveled to Tibet via India, following the command of Master Morya. Here she lived and learned from her masters for 3 years, including Master Gurdjieff. She lived in Tibet periodically for a total of 7 years and claimed to have traveled to places in Tibet that were never visited by any other European. She describes this time: "When we first traveled over the East, we came into contact with certain men endowed with such mysterious powers and such profound knowledge that we may truly designate them as the sages of the Orient. To their instructions we lent a ready ear. Much of the teachings found in my writings come from these sages of the Orient, our Eastern masters. Many a passage in my works had been written by me under their dictation. In saying this, no supernatural claim is urged, for no miracle is performed by such a dictation." Madame Blavatsky claimed she had known adepts, not only in India and beyond Ladakh, but in Egypt and Syria. She says, "Adepts are everywhere, silent, secret, retiring, and who never divulged themselves entirely to anyone unless one did as I did, passed 7 and 10 years as probation, and gave proofs of absolute devotion. I fulfilled the requirements, and am what I am." As Madame Blavatsky's life experience demonstrates, she, like any initiate, had to continuously work to master the lower forces. This is the aim of spiritual discipline and mandatory in the art of transformation. Without going through her cathartic changes, Madame Blavatsky could never have been prepared for the great work that she was to accomplish. This description summarizes the particular 4-year phase, ages 29 to 33, in Madame Blavatsky's life. She had been appointed or designated by the higher force supervising the plan to be their singular unique agent for this time, an initiatic doorway for humanity. Through the example of Madame Blavatsky, we see that the more we exert in the truth, the more our path is quickened, and we are purified much sooner than if we had not entered into a higher path of purpose. Once she had subdued the lower energies, Madame Blavatsky was able to fully embody the adept that Master Morya had told her was needed to found a new order, the Theosophical Society. Her sole purpose in this world was to be an agent to the masters who frequently communicated to her both physically and telepathically. When we speak of masters, we are referring to a specific matrix of energies incarnated in a select number of beings who function as guiding forces for the spiritual evolution of humanity. These masters are essentially accomplished beings that have already attained identity with and have been absorbed by their fifth-dimensional higher self, such as the third-dimensional self is most often purely apparitional. The manifestation of the masters to Madame Blavatsky was a singular grace shown to her only because of the profound responsibility that was placed onto her as a supreme initiate of the herald of the new age, or as Madame Blavatsky explains, "We called them masters because they are our teachers, and because from them we have derived all theosophical truths." For long ages, one generation of these adepts after another has studied the mysteries of being, of life, death, and rebirth. By the training of faculties we all possess, but which they alone have developed to perfection, the adepts have entered in spirit the various superphysical planes and states of nature.